listening to Voices of IFES, where we speak with people from around the IFES Fellowship about all things student ministry.
Hi everyone, welcome to Voices of IFES. I'm Roja, and today I'm talking with David Velkovski from North Macedonia. He's a pharmacy student serving with SIAM, passionate about student ministry, worship and prayer. As we celebrate 50 years of World Student Day, I'm excited to hear his story and what God is doing through students in North Macedonia. Hi David, could you start by introducing yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're studying, and what life looks right now.
Hello everyone. Hi Roja, so nice to be spending time with you. As you already introduced me, my name is David. I'm 25 years old and I come from Macedonia, where I'm a student. As you said, I'm finishing my degree in master in pharmacy, and beside that, I as well work in our local IFES movement, which is called CEAM, or in our pronunciation SAM, which basically stands for Student Evangelical Association in Macedonia. I work as a part-time staff there since this year, actually, since this April. But I've been actively volunteering there since 2022. And go on to your question about like how life looks right now within the ministry. We're still in a process of a break right now because it's still not the semester started. It starts in October. So we go with the meetings, the regular student meetings from October, and work right now looks more like into planning, organizing, and preparing stuff for the meetings that are coming. But as well, on the side note of that, like personal life, I will say that this last weeks of September are more relaxed and kind of as a holiday for me. I'm in my hometown right now. I'm still not back in Skopje. I have time to rest a little bit before I go back to the university and to the ministry work. With our family at home, we're also preparing some storage food for the winter. If you're familiar with Balkan culture, that's a huge thing in this month. So that's how it looks like so far.
That's good to hear, David. When you think back to your first connection with SIAM, what stands out? Was there a person, a moment, or even a song that drew you in?
I'll have to go back 5 years in timeline to answer that question. So 2019 was the year when I started being a student and when I moved to Skopje for it. And in that time, I was living with my aunt in her home, in her house, and I actually didn't know about the student ministry and the possibility of it. But there has been a staff in the movement in that time that he knew my mom, and once I went to Skopje for my studies, they got in contact, and through him, she kind of texted her and got the contact to me to invite me to the meetings. And to be honest, I'm a kind of a shy and an introvert person. So the first semester, the 3 months, he's been pursuing me, inviting me for the meetings, but I didn't go to it. I was taking my time to settle down in the new surrounding in Skopje, in the city. And I was not that very open to join the meetings. But in the beginning of 2020, there was the winter conference that SEAM is organizing. So he as well, but also some other people, such as some people from the church in Skopje and Jensek, her husband, they all kind of texted me and invited me to join it. I was still a bit nervous for that, to go to a place where I don't know anyone. But now looking back on it, thank God I went it, and it was a place where I could kind of express my faith, because when you go from a hometown which is smaller to a bigger city, you kind of feel a bit lost. But finding the community that Sam has been a good place for me to feel more like welcomed, but also settle down in the city and in the new environment. So yeah, start.
Wonderful. You're passionate about ministry and worship. How have those passion found expression in your student years?
During studies and during being a student, it can be challenging maybe to do ministry or to give a bit more than just like being a regular visitor to a church or to any ministry, such as Sam or so. But I think what I did, I mean, in my hometown in the church, I've been always passionate about music. So I started from like changing slides to leading worship with the piano in a local church. I had used my talent in playing the piano that I've been learning in primary school. So besides that, also sometimes like sharing some short messages or like giving a sermon, a talk. But with the student ministry, with me, it always goes like, if I'm feeling like impacted by something that something or someone has impact in my life, and it was a case with the student ministry, I wouldn't say that I feel like I'll have to, but I would love to give something in return. So what I did was I was available for the movement for anything that it would need to set up things, to join into planning, into suggestions, and so I started actively volunteering there. It was going for a few years, and now I'm still doing the same, working for it and giving my resources, my time, my abilities to serve the students and the movement itself.
Siam has a rich history. What kind of legacy do you feel you're stepping into as a young student leader?
That's a cool question. Siam has been going on for about 25 years in Macedonia, and like I personally don't know all of the history that it has in the years behind, but I can feel the result of it, or like the fruit of it, that we are in this generation or in this year. So kind of the things that the previous generation or the Gen X and all the stuff that been part of it it hasn't impacted us today, like now. Like there has been people who pioneered the ministry, who has found a place. Like that's a huge blessing. To the ministry is now owning its own office, so we have a free place to meet regularly. But also all the, I would say, on the spiritual side, all the effort they did into kind of establishing the organization among the university to kind of be a bit well known, so we can step and we can maybe just use the examples from the years behind to step right now. Like we are not doing something from a zero. There has been history which is helping us to now just walk on that line and to keep moving the ministry and basically the gospel and all the students at university.
What's something about student ministry in North Macedonia that others might not know, but you would like them to know?
I'll just begin with saying that in each country, and probably even in the same country, if you have a few different student groups, then it will look different because of the people who are present there and the students and their needs. But also, I will also say that, like, from my experience, like, and from things that I have seen, student ministry in Western culture is different than student ministry in Eastern countries and Eastern world. And also add on that in Macedonia we live a bit more into a religious world rather than a secular world. So the majority of people in the country are Orthodox Christians. So people are familiar with Christianity, and they have heard stuff or words like salvation, Bible, Christ, resurrection, and so it gives us the opportunity to easily open up a conversation within the students as well, or when it's the holidays like Easter, Christmas, or any of the saint celebrations. It gives us a place to start and talk with the students. But things that we are more into doing is to bring Christ and the need for the students to want to have a personal relation with him, and not just to do odds as a religious thing. And also students in our context, I will say, from the students that are part in the group, it's pretty visible that they have a hunger and a need to know more and to dig deeper into the Bible, into the Christianity, into the person of Jesus and God himself. So I'll just say they are not like satisfied with some Bible verses or quotes. They would be interested into digging deeper and finding answers and asking questions and putting that into their own perspective in their life. So yeah.
World Student Day has been a part of your journey. How do students in North Macedonia usually celebrate it?
World Student Day. We have been doing that as I have been part of the student group for the 5 years now. So just a few days ago, I was doing some work on the computer and I found one video from 2020 where I have been giving a short video or a short talk because it was an online meeting at that time. And so, but yeah, what we do on World Student Day is we either gather in our office or in a church, us, the staff and the students, and we would invite people from the churches, like personal connections, friends, people who are supporting our ministry as well, pastors, and so. And we would pray for us, the students who are part of the group, for their studies, for their colleagues as well, but also because it's World Student Day, and thanks to IFES bringing all the connection, we have opportunities to pray for students in different countries by hearing their stories, their settings, the environment where they live. So we can not just like focus on our group, on our student, but we can open up the circle, if I can say it like that, and look further away and actually pray for students worldwide.
World Student Day happens every year. What makes it feel different from the other gatherings or events for you?
I'll say here I will use probably the quote or the motto that IFES has for World Student Day, or just for the ministry itself. You're part of something bigger, and I think we can feel that, or we can sense that on that prayer meeting, where we have the map from the world, all the different movements, all their names, and the prayer cards. Like you can have access for people's names and their universities, the situations they go through. So it's a little bit different meeting than the rest of the meetings, where are more like focused locally in our group, among us and our situations and the things that we go through, or we will be having Bible studies and so. But the World Student Day meeting gives us a sense that we are part of a bigger movement, just that. And also, as I said, I'll repeat myself, it's just a prayer meeting. Like we would include prayer in our regular meetings throughout the week, but this day is just to pray. It's not like a preaching or giving a talk or studying the Bible. We would just pour our hearts in simple prayer and worship.
You've said you enjoy using prayer cards. Could you share one story where praying for another country or being prayed for made a real impact on you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say that I'm very thankful for all the prayer cards that IFES puts all the effort to collect together and to give to the movements. Yeah, I'll just say that it's always encouraging to see somebody else from a place where you probably don't know, or a person that you maybe don't know is more or less going through the same situation that you are going as well. And also with the prayer cards, what has been encouraging for me is when there has been one student in our group. She already graduated and is, of course, not part of the meetings anymore, but we are friends and we do see sometimes from time to time. And when I went to her home for just like to see her, I saw some of the prayer cards in her hallway on the walls from like a few years ago. And it's been like so encouraging to just see that it does has impact on us. Also with the prayer cards, I can here add something that I think would be very great if we do. I mean, we in our group, we do that. And it's, for me, very encouraging is that with the prayer cards, we can make the World Student Day prayer meeting not to be just one-time meeting, like in one day, but like ongoing prayer throughout the whole year. And what we do is that, IFES gives us a lot of student cards and we print all of them. Like we print all of the cards, but of course we cannot cover and pray for all of them on one meeting. So the ones that we don't cover on the prayer meeting, we leave them just in the office, like on a table, and students are able to get them when they are coming to the meetings weekly, so they can bring them home and pray for a different country. If you're a bigger movement and you have more students, you can always be reprinting the cards just until the next World Student Day where the new cards arrive. So you can encourage that prayer ongoing in your group and encourage the students to be constant in their prayers. But also with the prayer cards, I'll add on that not just pray for the country and the group that is on the card, but sometimes try to get in touch with them. Within this era and the social media, you can easily find their profiles or their group profiles. So try to do that for the country that you're praying. Get in touch with them. Just ask them or let them know that you have prayed and ask how God is moving and working in their lives, in their group. And so, yeah, I really love the prayer cards.
That's so encouraging. This year marks 50 years of World Student Day. If you could describe its value in just a sentence or two, what would you say?
50 years, that's half a century. And it's so amazing to see how many students and staff has taken part in it. Just a sentence or two, they would not be that easy to capture it, but the value of prayer itself is just sometimes more than we believe. I believe prayer moves the heart of God, and He blesses us when we talk to Him through prayer. So also with a prayer, you carry your brothers and sisters, in this case, other students, you carry their burdens. So we're also called to that, and in prayer, you're doing that. So World Student Day is all about praying, and we believe in its power and how God works through prayer and does His work.
If you were sitting across from a student in another part of the world who feels alone in their faith, what encouragement would you want to give them?
Yeah, that is a situation I would love to happen, to have a one-on-one talk a conversation with a student from a different country and context. As those who know me, they probably know that I'm not the guy who would stand in front of a huge crowd and give talk. So one-on-one conversation or just a small group setup is my go-to thing. And what I will encourage a student from a different country who might feel alone in their faith is that I will distinguish loneliness and being alone. Sometimes they can feel that they're alone, but the truth is they're never alone because Christ himself is always present. And if they are believers and if they have a relation with him, they can always sense and feel his presence. But I will also encourage them to not stop there. Your relation with Christ is important, and if not the most important, but his will for us is to be part of a community. So seek and try to find at least one friend or a student group or a church, believers, families, and so where you can live together and express your life and your faith. Now also maybe just say that to not settle in the situation but to not look for the earthly things, like our feelings are more into our worldly things. So do not focus on that, but like put your focus on the things above, as the Bible teaches, in what is true and right and just. And I believe if you do that, it will impact your earthly life for sure. So, yeah.
Such a good answer, David. Looking forward, what are your hopes for SIAM, for students in Macedonia, and for your own journey with God?
Yeah, that's a great question where we can think, plan, but also pray and aim for the future. What are my hopes for SIAM and for student ministry? This year that is starting, this new academic year, will be a lot of different for us. We're kind of stepping in a new season where some of the staff are leaving, and me is taking part to be a staff and a leader in the group. So my hope and my thing that I'm aiming to is to maybe do not compare the previous years to the year that is going to be in front of us, to just acknowledge that God is still at work and that even in new seasons, he is still the same God who will provide, who will lead, who will take care for us, and to have that mindset, that belief throughout the whole year, with like whatever the student ministry would look like. And for the students, I believe that all of them who has been coming the past year, they are still students. They will continue coming. There are some new students always in a new academic year. Our intention, our love is to see some of them joining the student group as well. My hopes for them is to just stay close to God and be very courageous in their faith. We are starting the new academic year just to add on that with a joint event among a few of the churches in Skopje and us and another youth organization. We're doing kind of a youth festival conference for the topic of courage. So also for our students, my hope is to see them being courageous about their faith on their campuses, among their colleagues, and to live out their faith. But also for my personal life, I'm aiming the same thing, to just like keep the relation with Christ, the most important thing in my life, to be consistent on it and intentional, even when you're sometimes like worried or weight from the world comes on, to just stay on track and to be intentional in my relation with Christ.
And finally, on a more fun note, if we were to visit you in Skopje, where would you take us first? to a coffee shop, a bookstore, or somewhere else?
First of all, you should visit Skopje. You, Roja, or whoever listening to the podcast, just get in touch with us, text us. We'll be very happy to host you, to welcome you, and to spend some time together. You mentioned coffee. I do love coffee. And my favorite coffee shop in Skopje is right like only 10 meters away from our office. So oftentimes when I go to the office, I cannot like miss my favorite coffee shop. Its name is 081. That's the link number for Skopje, the old link number. They have good coffee, good quality, specialty coffee. And also another place, just also 30 seconds away from our office on North Macedonia. There is located Mother Teresa House Museum, where I'm sure you all are familiar with her name, Mother Teresa, and her work, her mission. There is a museum, and it's house setting museum, so you can see her bedroom or her kitchen stuff that she has been using in her daily life. But also in Skopje, you can visit Mount Vodno, and there is located the Millennial Cross. That's a cross building monument, which is the tallest cross monument in Europe. And from there, you can have an awesome view of the city. You can enjoy the nature there on the grass, like a picnic or so. So yeah, there are a lot of cool things to visit in Skopje as well. We'll be happy to see any of you maybe coming and visiting us.
Oh, thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, David, for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you as well, Roja, for inviting me and giving me the platform to talk. It's been nice to share my story.
And thank you, listeners, for joining us as we mark 50 years of World Student Day. Keep praying, connecting, and remembering. And remember, you're part of something bigger. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to Voices of IFES. Follow us on your favourite podcast platform to hear more interviews like this one today. If you want to hear stories of how students are transforming their campuses around the world, subscribe to Prayer Line, our weekly newsletter with inspiring stories to help you pray for student movements. You can go to ifesworld.org to subscribe or follow us on Instagram and Facebook to listen to stories in audio form.